this is Christina and Kristen at Diploma McLemmons today, and we're going to show you how to do an image transfer on the wood. Really fun product to do that for anybody to do for any kind of gift giving or anything like that, or just in your spare time. So today, for our supplies, we're going to need Mod Podge, a sponge brush, very fine sandpaper, and then your image of choice, which we do need to print it on a laser printer. The image also needs to be reversed if it is going to be any kind of wording, because if you put it on there facing normally, it's not going to transfer onto your wood very well. And also a piece of wood that just has a nice clean surface that you would like to use. Today, we're going to use the McLennan Hardware logo to transfer onto this piece of wood here. And so what we're going to do, the first step is, we're going to have the image facing up so we can put the Mod Podge on. So here we go here. And you're going to want to put a good amount of it onto the image here. So make sure you're doing this all in one stroke, because you don't want it going all over the place because it's not going to transfer very well. So what we're going to do here is add a little bit more. And you can do this pretty liberally so it can transfer pretty well onto the image. So
don't worry if the Mod Podge gets anywhere, it dries clear, so you'll be fine. And this is a good project for the kids to help you with.
And so we're going to put just a little bit more there to make sure everything's nice and covered there. It does get a little bit messy, but that's the fun part of it. Oh, what a nice stroke. And then we're going to put the image to the side here while we put some more onto the wood. So what we're going to do here is just add a little bit onto the wood.
And applying the Mod Podge to the wood is just to make it more, like give it a finished look if you wanted.
And from here, we're going to take our image, place it down onto the wood facing downwards so it transfers on there nice and easy. And what you want to make sure is that it's nice and flat, because if you have bubbles into your image, it's not going to transfer very well because it's not connecting itself to the wood transfer. So we're going to make sure that it's all nice and good there. There we go. And from there, we're going to let this dry for about 45 minutes. So we've already thought ahead and going to show you kind of a halfway done project, so we can just kind of move on to that. So what Kristen's going to show you is our image is halfway done there. We've already taken some of it off, and then the other part is going to be dry. So after you have this dry for 45 minutes, you're going to go along here.
So you can have a wet rag or a paper towel and some water, which is what we did. We decided to actually use a page, an image from our favorite book, Cinderella, and decided to put it on the wood just to give you an idea of like what you can put on there. So usually what you want to do is start at the corner and make sure you get it nice and wet and just start rubbing it down. You'll see your image start to reveal itself on the wood. And we already did half of it, so we're going to do the other half so we can show you. Don't go too fast because you don't want your image to, you don't want to mess it up and like put a scratch in it.
So from there, Kristen, as you can see, is doing is coming off to the image that we have on the other side of the page. Another thing that we said earlier, you do want to make sure that your image is reversed if you're using any kind of lettering or logo, because as you see here, the lettering from the book is backwards. So we don't want to make that mistake twice.
Yeah, make sure the image is reversed.
Okay, and from there, we're going to show you a final project that we did earlier today. So here's Cinderella and her stepsisters and stepmother, what we have here. So once that's all completely dry, so I'd give that another 45 minutes. And when you're touching it, just want to make sure the image is dry before you do the next step, which is what you're going to do is going to take the Mod Podge and just do another clear coat, just a very thin coat over it with your sponge brush again. And if you decide that you want more of a vintage look to your product here, before you apply the first layer, you're going to take the sandpaper and kind of rub it throughout the image until you see that distressed look that you're looking for. That's really all up to your personal preference. So we're going to go back here in just a little bit and show you what our logo looks like on our final product. So in about 45 minutes.